What's up, everybody? It's the movie guy. Well, I'm just heading home from work. I work 3 to midnight. Um, Thunderbolts had a great crowd. The theaters went trash. We had a good usher crew. But Friday and Saturday, so night and day. Anyway, I like to do this like night chat topic chat when I'm walking home. So I was thinking about what do I want to chat about tonight. And I want to talk about guilty pleasure movies and obviously slash talk about video games a little bit. But my guilty pleasure movies is the Resident Evil movies. I love the first Resident Evil game. Oh, I love the second one. I think the second one's my favorite Resident Evil game. But the first game is the game that made me a hardcore gamer. And I think it's one of my favorite series. And I know I've talked about The Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2 being my two favorite games, and I really don't consider that a series. I think a series would be like 3 or 4 games. So the one thing I don't understand is how do you keep fucking up the Resident Evil movies when the source material is right there with the games? I just don't understand that. Like, when production companies and directors are doing like a Resident Evil movie or doing a video game movie, they should use The Last of Us TV show as a blueprint, because there's so much from the game in that show. They do veer off a little bit, but that's what gamers want. I mean, I don't want to speak for all the gamers, but I want to see those iconic moments on the small or big screen. I just don't understand it. And I feel like that's why a lot of video game movies fail, because the director wants to do his own thing and maybe sprinkle a little bit from the video game in the movie. And that's why it fails. Or the script is really bad, like it's dog shit. So, I don't know. Zach Krieger is doing the reboot Resident Evil movie again, a reboot. And Zach Krieger, I think that's his name, the guy that did Barbarian, he says it's going to be just like the game. So if they're going to do it just like the game, they need to have it where they crash by the mansion, the dogs are chasing them, they make their way into the mansion. Jill's like, Barry, where's Barry? And then Wesker veers off, and Barry goes his own way, Chris goes his own way, and then you can show like different points of view from each character in the mansion, and then have great casting, have a great story, and then obviously fight the tyrant at the end. Like, I just don't understand that. It just frustrates me so much, because I really want to see a good Resident Evil movie, and I feel like the Mila movies are prequels to the game. I think they're more like spin-offs before the actual games. Like the first Resident Evil, I really enjoy. I mean, it's got some enjoyable stuff in it. Marilyn Manson's score is fantastic. The Nemesis, or no, it's called Resident Evil Apocalypse. They had the Nemesis in it. Oh my God, that one I think was better. I love LJ in that movie. Oh my God, like I love the second. And it seemed like all the Resident Evil movies also had killer soundtracks and scores. When I first saw Extinction, the third movie, I hated it. And then I came around a little bit when I did my Resident Evil-thon, like way back. It's been a couple years since I did it. But I kind of enjoy it a little bit more. And I can't remember if the Lost Plagueis appeared in Extinction or if it was Afterlife. But anyway, Afterlife is one of my favorite Resident Evil movies, because I think I just beat, or I was playing Resident Evil 5 at the same time. So there was a lot of and I love Resident Evil 5 as a game. And there was a lot of like cool elements from the game, like Wesker, perfect casting for Wesker. Like how he moved at the end when like Chris was fighting him, and the Lost Plagueis and the Executioner was in it. So and Tom and Andy's score for Resident Evil Afterlife is so great. I've got that score on CD. It is so good. And Retribution is probably my second favorite. Tom and Andy's score is great. When that score plays, when they do that like reverse at the end of Afterlife, when they're on the battleship or something, they're on the ship and all the helicopters are coming, the army helicopters, and I think that's when Perfect Circle's song hits. Oh my god, Perfect Circle's song in Afterlife is amazing. And that piece of score by Tom and Andy when Jill gets off of the I think it's the submarine and goes and fights Alice, like, oh my god. And she has that chess piece like from the game. So I think those two are probably my favorite. Final Chapter sucked ass so bad because at the end of Retribution, they showed all the characters up on the wall and they look down and you see all the infected. They never mentioned in Final Chapter what happened to Leon or Ada. It's just like, it felt like they just wrote them out. I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand how they did not bring all those characters back for Final Chapter. Like, Final Chapter is such dog shit. Oh my god. And then I'm not even going to get started on Welcome to Raccoon City. I will admit, seeing the mansion and the police station was awesome, but that is it. And the casting was awful for Wesker and Jill and Leon. Leon was even a different race, and I don't even think Jill was white. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? How, like, the casting directors for that, how do you, like, I feel like the casting directors for Welcome to Raccoon City never even seen pictures of the video game characters or never even played any of the Resident Evil game. Because how in the hell do you go with that cast? That might be the worst Resident Evil movie I've ever seen. But I just hope, I just swear to God, just kind of like the same thing for Fantastic Four. I feel like the previous movies has been very dog shit. The first one, I will say, is somewhat watchable. I hate the second one. And then the 2015, I stopped like 40 minutes in. So I'm like, I think we're finally going to get a Fantastic Four movie that is going to be fantastic. No pun. But I just want an amazing Resident Evil movie. I just want the same thing that I've been wanting for Fantastic Four. Please make it like the game. They could make it into a big cinematic universe, like Marvel or something. And I hope they do. I really do. Sorry that this is a long video, but once I get talking about Resident Evil, I just keep talking and talking and talking. And I just, man, just to see that second game or even the fifth game in live action, Resident Evil 4. Can you imagine what Resident Evil 7 would look like on the big screen or Village? If you got a horror director who's a big Resident Evil fan. Oh my god. If they did it right, Resident Evil 7 could be the scariest horror movie of all time. That family is so freaking creepy. But final thoughts, I am praying that Resident Evil is awesome. I hope Zach Krieger just makes a great Resident Evil movie. I was thinking about maybe early 2026, where I might be putting it. The way the Resident Evil movies have been in the past, it might be my number one honorable mention, most anticipated movie of 2026. Maybe. But, man, just please make the Resident Evil movies perfect. But anyway, it's the movie guy. I'm heading off here. I'm almost home, and then I'm crashing. Hopefully everybody has a great night. I'll talk to you later.